let's get into it though. First bit of news. It's kind of old as far as me talking about it, but I think this has sparked a pretty big topic within the realm of hip hop. But this was based off of Tyler the Creator's comments. A shout out to, I don't know why I stopped like that. Shout out to you, King. I don't know why the why the notification just stopped when I did that. But shout out to you, King, for the 9 months as well. Thank you, thank you. But all right, so let's get to Tyler the Creator because I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and because of who they presumed he was specifically talking about in this particular interview. So just in case if you haven't heard this particular clip, let's go ahead and play it, and then I will give my thoughts on the main person who everybody was getting on him talking about, and just the overall message of people basically just cosplaying in hip hop, which has been going on for a while. But I get my full thoughts in a minute. What up, Vamp? What? Yeah, Ian, exactly.
Bag. I love that. But like when every publication is like, hell yeah, let's put that out. Man, a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 20-year-old gonna see that and be like, man, shit, I don't really care about this shit too. This is a quick bag. Now you taking up space for niggas like me.
That
You
really
taking up
wanna be
space for people who really care about this art form. And like, I don't like that.
But do you get satisfaction?
And these niggas can't perform.
Nobody can.
All these niggas dress alike. Man, you go to 2003. Jay didn't sound like T.I., who didn't sound like 50. Pharrell didn't sound like Dre, who ain't sound like fucking Quick, who ain't sound like Ye or Just Blaze or Alchemist. Eminem didn't sound like fucking Jill Scott. Jill Scott wasn't trying to sound like Julian from the fucking Strokes. Everyone was them fucking selves. Now, like, everyone is doing cosplay. It's a Spider-Man meme of like the next nigga. Everyone uses the same slang. Nigga, you are from LA and you saying slime?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't say that. It's crazy how the internet has made everything so like homogenous, like nothing is its own thing no more. And I think in like 3 years, like either everyone's just gonna be the same color or it's gonna pop and the next generation is just gonna go so left and want to be themselves that it's gonna be like.
But that also comes with hip hop getting so big too. The flip side of that is like it's part of that.
Yeah. So that's that clip there. And I mean, even if you get upset at who Tyler the Creator was, presumably talking about in this particular clip, he's right though. He's 100% correct. Yeah, especially nowadays, like there's it's really no disparity. Like every now and then we'll get somebody who's unique within the realm of hip hop, but the majority of people, yeah, they are truly sounding like carbon copies of each other. They really are. And let's get to the topic of Ian, because everybody kept bringing up Ian. I mean, what else do we need to say about Ian? First of all, he came out of nowhere. Like, never heard of him, and I had to do my own research. I'm like, where did this white dude come from? Like, again, every time it's somebody white, like hip hop literally just fixates on them, right? Like they fixate on them. It's like they automatically just get an automatic 300 steps ahead of anybody else who's like underground trying to make it. So like when somebody comes around like Ian, then everybody literally puts him under a microscope. Lil Dicky was another one. Asher Roth was another one. Obviously the most successful one, Eminem, who I mean, like I say, you can't really say anything about Eminem as far as being authentic, because he 100% was authentic. He stamped. All the legends revere him. So Eminem's a totally different conversation, but even he acknowledges like, yeah, man, because I was white, because I'm a wigger, like this is what ended up happening to me. So at least he acknowledges it. But Macklemore is another one. Like anybody who's white who comes into this space, like the world literally fixates on them. So we know what being white does in the realm of hip hop. We understand, we acknowledge it, we know that it happens, and unfortunately there's nothing you can do about it. It happens. But anyways, so going back to Ian came out of nowhere, and this like everybody saying like he sounded like Playboy Cardi, right? Like he literally just took somebody from Atlanta and was like, this is gonna be my blueprint. I mean, literally your first official project, you had DJ Holiday, of all people. DJ Holiday was Gucci Mane's longtime mixtape DJ, and you got DJ Holiday, who I haven't even heard from in a while, but he somehow snatched onto you, and that's your first project? Like, what? John Cena, I mean, but John Cena could rap though. John Cena was the other who could actually rap. Yeah, but that was a gimmick though. Like, we ended up accepting it, you know, as wrestling fans and overall fans. But yeah, John Cena was another example of that. It's just like, oh man, like, you white and you rapping, what's going on there? So, but yeah, but Ian is just so freaking weird, and like what he chose as his style and how his popularity grew. Like, I don't know the first person who stamped Ian, but like I said, like, your first project that comes out, you get DJ Holiday as your DJ on your project, who talking stuff like, what's going on? All your beats sound like Atlanta trap beat. Like what happened there? Why are you like this? Who truly inspired you? And, or, you know, in this case, like, who'd you copy off of? But yeah, I mean, that's how it is nowadays. You know, there's little uniqueness within our space. So I totally understand what Tyler's saying, but like I said, this isn't new though. But you know, his example of people back in the day, yeah, this person wasn't trying to sound like this person. Like, it was easier for people to sound unique, have their own sound, and, you know, really for the most part, whatever region that you came from, you're going to sound more or less, you know, like that, instead of somebody from freaking suburbia out there in bumfuck, who's never even been to anywhere in Atlanta or near Atlanta, like the actual hood of Atlanta, not the outskirts. But you coming in and you're like, well, who the heck were you listening to? Where did you find this sound? Like, because from where you're from and like who your parents are, literally sitting there looking at them, how do you even sound like this? Where do you get this from? But like Tyler said, the internet, you know, makes it so much easier for you to get access to different sounds from different regions, and then you can just literally copy paste that and mold that into, I mean, it's not even anything unique, to be honest. Usually when people hear a sound, they're like, okay, like, I'm inspired. Like, it's the difference between inspiration and just straight up copying somebody. And Ian, you know, no matter what they say, because I've seen a lot of defenders like, oh man, like, you talking about Ian, shut up, like, Ian is dope, blah blah blah. I try to listen to Ian, and again, like, he sounds very, very similar to somebody I've heard before. Like, it's nothing unique about him, but because he's white, you know, he gets that extra ears. He gets those extra ears. Because if he was black, like, let's keep it a buck. If he was black doing that same stuff, they would say he sound like Playboy Cardi. Let's just keep it a buck. They literally did that. Remember when Mario Judah did his best impression, which actually sounded pretty good. But I remember when Mario Judah did did a whole lot of red when he did that whole project, and low-key he actually sounded like when Playboy Cardi brought out his project, and then Mario Judah brought out his project, it literally sounded Mario Judah actually did a very good impression. It actually sounded better, in my opinion, than that last Playboy Cardi project. It was very strange how that happened, but you know, I don't know if that was his main goal, like, hey, I can do you better than you can do. But again, you know, that's just one example. Like, again, it's just not anything unique about that. And again, the only reason why, you know, whether you want to admit it or not, you know, that Ian has this success and, you know, just coming out of nowhere is because he's white, but sound like Playboy Cardi, and Playboy Cardi has a crazy freaking audience that no matter what he does, they are going to just eat it up. Like, that man is mysterious, and they freaking love him. They love him to death. So it's very strange there. But yeah, I mean, Tyler's right though. But like I said, I don't want to just focus on Ian, but that's what everybody ended up, you know, running to with the internet. But you know, in the overall spectrum, yes, you know, Tyler the Creator is 100% correct. He's like, they can't perform. Yeah, they can't perform. They'll just sit there and just hold a mic. Like these are, you know, even though SoundCloud isn't relevant anymore, but they're SoundCloud kids. They're internet kids. You know, they're not being manufactured necessarily by the labels anymore. You know, there's somebody behind them. Don't get me wrong. There is somebody behind these people, you know, because they don't just come out of nowhere to get that success. You know, it's rare that you'll catch a viral buzz just from the internet. It's very difficult. You have somebody behind you that will push you in the algorithm because they know how it works, right? There's always somebody behind you. It may not be a major label, but there is somebody behind these people. You know, they're the shadowy figures in the background that will get you that push. It's literally in 100% is that Atlanta episode. You know, get you that young white and then YWA, that young white audience. Like, that's what it was, man. That was that argument, man. Like, that skit was 100% spot on, and that's what happened in Ian's case. And you know, unfortunately, that's what happened in a lot of other people's case. You know, not necessarily white people, but you know, that's why everybody talk about industry plants. You know, because when you see them people come out of nowhere, like, this isn't you. This isn't something unique. This isn't something innovative. This isn't something that's pushing our culture forward. Where did you come from? Why are you sounding like this? How did you get this success when you sound like somebody from 5-10 years ago who's still relevant, who's doing the same thing? And that's people's problem. But again, we are in a very weird state, you know, thing like TikTok, the internet moves at the speed of light, and people have ADHD when it comes to consuming any type of content. So they'll just move on to the next one. Whatever sounds good, they'll listen to it and they'll big it up. So, you know, the authenticity, you know, when we're talking specifically in hip hop, but it can't just the overall spectrum can go to other genres of music, and go to other forms of entertainment as well. You know, it happens a lot, man. People just see what's successful and they just copy the formula. And, you know, unfortunately, that waters down the authenticity, that waters down and people like Tyler, who I consider, you know, very talented artist, you know, who can hit a bunch of different check boxes within the realm of hip hop. You know, he can cross over to R&B. You know, he's shown that he can do a lot of things. This man is a designer, like, so he's checked so many different boxes. But yeah, he just has a person to know it. Like, I understand you like where the fuck did this person come from? Like, what's going on here? So those are my thoughts on it. I don't know why people are so bent out of shape. I don't know why people are defending Ian like that. Like, whatever. I would never defend Ian like that. Like, Ian can just disappear tomorrow, and I could care less. I could care less. I was just wondering where the heck did he come from? And I decided to give his project a listen. And I was like, I don't know what people are seeing here. Why are people so hyped up and bent out of shape if anybody talks about Ian, or if someone says that Ian is trash? You know, why are people defending him so heavily? It's weird. It's definitely weird. So that why I expect Marlon Crabbe to understand the credits on like industry plan. Yeah, you know, industry plan it's one of those buzzwords. It's one of the buzzwords. But if you aren't aware of what an industry plan is literally somebody, you know, it's mainly in the music realm, but industry plan is someone that they feel is planted from a label or somebody who is higher up that has a lot of influence within the industry. They pick somebody, essentially, you know, not literally, but they pick somebody off the road. You know, you pick them off the block. You will give them the formula to make music, and then you will push them out into the world. That's the definition, you know, in simplest terms of an industry plan. And anybody who comes out in this formula, again, just comes out of nowhere, who you've never heard, like you never heard them in the underground, you never heard any of their previous projects. Like, if you come out of nowhere and like your first single, I'm not talking about if you had 1 or 2 projects beforehand, or even 1 or 2 songs beforehand that maybe didn't hit. I'm talking about one single, your first single. If your first single that you come out with is an instant hit, and you didn't have any type of viral moments, just nothing that people can go back to, that's why, you know, that would be the literal definition of an industry plan. And for me, I didn't know who Ian was, never heard of him. Then all of a sudden I just saw an article. It was like, who was Ian? Because like he went somewhere, he was like in his car, and like people were just like lining around his car. Like it was like he had like a little mini concert like out in the street. And I saw that article. I was like, who the fuck is this? And then, you know, I went down a rabbit hole, and then I saw he made a video with his mom. He was like, yeah, he was like, I just want to tell the world that my son, he's coming out with this mixtape this Friday, like his first project this Friday. And then I listened to it, and DJ Holiday is on the freaking album. I'm like, what? Like, what is this? Am I in Bizarro world? So that's what the industry plan is, if you've never heard of it. So yeah, so Ian, like they said that Ice Spice was the industry plant. I don't necessarily think that Ice Spice is, but her music just isn't really good. But I mean, Munch ended up being a viral hit, and then she had labels, you know, knocking down her door. So I don't think she was necessarily industry plant, but people have labeled her as that. So there are a good amount of people that they're just like, why? Like, where did you come from? Like, how did you get this sort of success like so early? And you didn't essentially put in the work, because again, we love a underdog story. We like you to get it out the mud, especially black people. You know, that's our mantra all day. You know, get it out the mud, start from the bottom. You know, show that you know how it is to be down here, and then, you know, make your way up, and then you'll see the success. Not somebody who instantly just makes one song and then you go viral, and then you see this level of success that people have been grinding for like 5-10 years, and they haven't even sniffed, you know, the success that you have. So that's that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Tyler. Those are my thoughts on Tyler Creator. He's 100% correct though. Like what are people arguing about? Is it just because you know, people said that he was talking about Ian? I don't know. I don't know. I think that's the main reason why people were just so up in arms. But I mean, but he's right though. Like, you just gotta admit that he's